Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. This is your match review for Manchester United 0, Chelsea 0. Yeah, I mean, flipping out. If you didn't, nearly fall asleep during that game, then I commend you. Honestly, I commend you. And I would like to know, how you managed not to. Because honestly, let's be honest, that game of football was tragic. It just like, I know there's no fans in the ground, but I think had there been any fans in the ground, the atmosphere would have been the same as we saw tonight, just empty. It wasn't great to watch at all, and I have a big hesitation here because it honestly, when you look at the whole game in context and you look at the entire 90 minutes, it feels like we went there for a 0-0. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to say we've tried to go to Old Trafford where we have a Man United team that's there for the taking. They are nowhere near perfect. Yes, they just beat PSG. Yes, they have some good players, but there is work to do. I told you guys, in the way that Tottenham beat them 6-1, I don't believe that they have truly recovered from that. There are loopholes and ways to exploit Man United, and I spoke about all of that in the preview yesterday. It's like today we just showed up with a massive fear. I don't get it. I don't get why we look scared. We look like we don't want to take the risk. We don't want to go and attack as much as we can. And I understand sometimes that can be at the expense of defending and, being solid at the back. And we need the balance, which I've talked about recently. But it's one thing trying to be good defensively, and then there's tonight where we just saw only a defensive performance and nothing going up top. And the way that we were set up didn't help. The back three, not a fan of. I'm not a fan of that. Last season, I think, yes, there were times and there were games where that was needed and we utilised it. But this now, especially with our signings, we don't need to go to a back three. We just don't. All we need is to try and find the balance between defending as a team collectively solid and creating the chances that we normally do and going out and trying to score goals. I did tell you guys today would be a very physical game. And in terms of endurance and running and energy, it was, especially with the rain. The rain didn't help. But we just didn't do anything going forward. And I think part to play for that was the system. Because you look at Timo Werner, for example, and he looked isolated in a way, but at the same time, to be honest, there were times during that game where he had decisions to make and he made the wrong decisions. So Timo Werner, I think, had an off day. But the system in itself, where we weren't offering ourselves enough width, we weren't, obviously we didn't play with a number 10, which I think is crucial for Timo Werner to be able to get supplied with the ball frequently. And we didn't do that because Kai Havertz started on the right-hand side. We didn't have anyone in the 10. It's a defensive formation. Wing-backs, Jorginho, Kante as our only central midfielders. Getting the ball to Timo Werner is a bit of a mission. And every time we do, we get closed down, we allow Man United to get back into position, we take all the time in the world, and then we pass back, and it's frustrating. The one stat which I'm going to leave you with before I get into the lineup is that we had one shot on target all game. One. Against Man United. And I know some of you might be like, oh, but they're a good United team. Yeah, they just beat PSG. They got caked 6-1. Yeah, before that, they've been playing horrific. They managed to get themselves a result away from home against Newcastle, and then they went away to Paris and got a result against PSG. At home, you can see this season they are just there for the taking, and today they weren't special. United weren't special, yet somehow we just didn't offer ourselves the initiative to go out and take the risk and try and really go to score goals. We didn't. It's like we set up with this fear and trying to chase a 0-0. I don't get it. Let's get into the lineup. We started off with a formation of a 3-4-3, and this is what our lineup was. Mendy in goal. Azpilicueta, Thiago Silva and Kurt Zouma as our centre-backs, Reece James as our right wing-back, Ben Chilwell as our left wing-back, Jorginho and Kante in our centre-mid, Pulisic on his left-hand side, Havertz on his right-hand side, and Timo Werner up front. I want to commend a couple of performances. Couple of performances goes to Thiago Silva and goes to Edouard Mendy. Now, Edouard Mendy did make one little mistake we saw where he almost passed it into his own net. And I'm like, yo, Edouard, what are you doing? What are you doing? But it's a one-off. He made some quality saves today, especially in the last minute where we saw the save Edouard Mendy made. But he made a couple of saves that were crucial and saves that you look at and go, maybe if it was Kepa, maybe he wouldn't have reached it. But I'd like to think that maybe Kepa would have made the saves too. Who knows? But anyway, Mendy, very, very top performance today. A very good one. So fair play to him. As I said, Thiago Silva done everything perfectly today defensively. I think, as I said, defensively we had the structure there. Defensively, United were not penetrating through as much as they would have liked. But you could see that they were trying. You could see that they were utilising their advantage every time they managed to get the ball and start attacking. The reality that the fact that they ended up with 4 shots on target compared to our 1 tells you that. They managed to get into our box and try a few things out, but overall managed to keep our shape. Our only problem was translating the transition into an attacking one where we are posing a threat, and we weren't posing any threats, and it's just frustrating. One thing that I want to focus on really quickly, because this is a joke. This is the picture. Have a look. Azpilicueta is getting manhandled by Harry Maguire. He's in a headlock. As I've said on Twitter, the only thing that's missing from this is Randy Orton to run on the pitch and distribute an RKO to Azpilicueta. Because, an RKO out of nowhere I think would have finished it off. How this has not been given as a penalty is beyond me. And you want to know what's crazy? This is crazy. Let me read it out. Regarding Chelsea's penalty claim for Maguire's challenge on Azpilicueta in the first half, PGMOL confirm the incident was checked and VAR decided the on-field decision was correct. That's outrageous. Outrageous. Now, the PGMOL are the Professional Game Match Officials Board. They are like the board of referees that control the referees in the game, basically. They are in charge. They've confirmed that we did go to VAR, and VAR said no, it's legal. That's corruption. I'm sorry to say. At that point, that's corruption. If that's not given as a penalty, the game is in the bin. The game is in the bin. And I don't want to leave it on, if Chelsea had gotten that penalty, we would have just gone on and win the game. No, I'm just talking about fairness here. Because that went to VAR, didn't even show as going to VAR. But anyway, VAR took a look at it and said it's legal. 1 minute later, a non-event, a non-challenge, where Kante literally taps Rashford, which is a natural, you could see it was a natural gesture. It wasn't, there was no ambition to take the player out or anything. It wasn't even a tackle. They were both going for the ball. But the fact that Kante touched Rashford on the back of his leg, that went to VAR, checked 6 times by VAR to see if a penalty could be given. What's going on? What is going on? Is that Man United? I don't know. Is there favouritism towards Man United here? I don't understand. I really don't get it. I don't get it. It's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles. When you see that, a headlock, a flipping headlock, and he's brought him down, and he's made sure that he's brought him down, and that's not given. Unbelievable. The other thing that I want to say, into the second half, when it came to making substitutions, we saw Pogba Cavani come on at a reasonable time for Man United. Frank Lampard seems to have this tendency to wait to react, and I don't understand the fact that he brought Tammy Abraham on and Mason Mount on, and I knew this one would be controversial. The moment it happened, I put, this is going to be controversial, isn't it? Ziyech wasn't brought on until the 81st minute. 10 minutes of football Ziyech got, and I don't understand. I understand he's not 100% fit, but you're telling me he can't play a half an hour, 40 minutes of football? Of course he can. He done it for Morocco in his first game back. I mean, what are we waiting for? Why is he not on the pitch? Especially when we need the width and an outlet You look at the way he can cut in and utilise, and we have a wing back that's there to overlap. Not even a fullback, a wing back. And it didn't offer us a solution. Especially cutting in without a number 10. It would have been nice to have Ziyech cut in and distribute to our centre forward, who, whether it was Werner or Tammy Abraham, didn't really do much. It's bizarre. Those substitutions of Tammy Abraham and Mason Mount coming on for Werner and for Havertz. Havertz out of position. Yes, he's played on the wing for Bayer Leverkusen, but that's not his preferred position. He's a number 10. Timo Werner, not being distributed to, but he comes off. Another striker comes on, again, isolated. I feel the system today was one that just didn't offer us enough to be able to go and take 3 points from Man United when it was there for the taking. And the substitutions didn't help either. For me, the solution would have been, one, to take Jorginho off and bring Kovacic on to provide the energy in central midfield, to bring Ziyech on much earlier, and to stick Olivier Giroud up top because he offers something that the others haven't. Werner normally can, but with Reece James pinging the ball into the box, the man you want in the box to try and header it in or to do something, create something from nothing, is Olivier Giroud. So I would have brought Giroud on. That's just me though. Anyway, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. For me, this isn't a good result. I'm just going to be honest with you. The reality of the situation is that now we lie in 6th place, 6 games played with 9 points. 9 points out of a possible 18. The fact that everyone else still has to play, we could end up mid-table by the end of this weekend. And that's not a good look. Now, next game, we've got Krasnodar. It's been 3 games on the bounce now where we haven't won. Surely we'll beat Krasnodar. Surely. If we don't, there's a problem. But onwards and upwards. We need to start racking up 3 points. And I understand creating the balance between having a solid defense and scoring goals, but you know, in order to try and get a solid defense, you don't do that completely at the expense of not going to score goals, because there's no point. Goals win you games. You have to score. But the problem isn't to just play defensive. That's not it. That's not the solution. The issue here is to try and get everyone collectively to defend as a unit and to be aggressive even on the press, even when we're attacking or we're in their half. To defend in their half, you can press high, you can defend high. It's not a case of just sitting back and containing and we had a good defensive performance. No, there are ways to win the ball back off the opposition and to do things that helps create more chances for us whilst defending well in the meantime. And it just seems like we're doing one at the expense of the other. We used to attack at the expense of defending. And now we're defending at the expense of attacking. And that's just not the way it works. You need a balance between both. And I feel like we're not doing that. We're choosing one or the other. We need both. That's how I'm going to end it. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you are new. Hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button. Let's try and get to 7,000 likes as usual. Follow me on Twitch. Live stream will be coming tomorrow for some more FIFA career mode. And yeah, I will see all of you tomorrow for a brand new video. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care and peace.